Hey, Solar Kid back with another video on are you looking to move to Houston? If so, this is the perfect video. It's a must watch because it's going to explain some of the things that you need to know before you decide to relocate to Houston in 2022. So if you haven't done so already, please go like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out so much by hitting the notification bell, so whenever I drop a video, you are notified that we're producing content for you as a homeowner or just someone who's interested in learning more about the Houston market. So let's go ahead and get right into this video on are you moving to Houston and what you need to know. For starters, you definitely want to find a place that's really close to where you live. So you don't want to necessarily live outside of the city if you're going to be in the city often. So you might want to choose a place that's more conveniently located. That way you're not driving 30, 40, 50 minutes just to get to one place so you can actually do what you need to do. I suggest that if you're moving to Houston, living in the inner ring of either the Sam Houston or the 610, if you're going to be in the city quite frequently, you're going to have to fight traffic, which is going to add another 10 to 20, 30 minutes depending on how far you're driving from, and then where you're going, and just depending on weather conditions on that particular day, you're going to have to fight other opportunities like pricing. When it comes down to housing, it could be pretty strenuous. It could be high as $1,600 just for a one bedroom to almost $3,000 for a 2 to 3 bedroom, depending on where you're staying. And then if you're looking to purchase, it can be anywhere upwards of $500K just to buy a home. So you gotta look into areas where you can afford, but be more convenient to you. If I'm moving to Houston, if I'm gonna give you some information, I'm gonna give you the right information. So definitely take advantage of the opportunity of being closer to what you need to do versus being further. So to add on to that, you definitely want to be close to your family events, your restaurants, your shopping, your fun and activities, stuff like that. So you want to be more centrally located, so the things that you're going to do most often when you move to Houston, because it's so vast and big when it comes down to how spread out the city is. So you definitely want to be closer to where you're going to be doing the most for whatever you got planned when you move to Houston. So also along with that, gas right now, as we sit on the 17th of February of 2022, we're sitting at about $2.75 for regular gas, all the way up to premium gas when it's going to be about $3.80. So I'm paying premium prices right now, which I hate because I have an Audi, but at the end of the day, you have to pay what you have to pay. But just so you know, you're moving here, you're moving to gas prices, it's anywhere between $2.75 to $3.80 per gallon. So as I mentioned before, when it comes down to the living inside of the loop or inside of the 610 or the Sam Houston, for the most part, if you're going to be living in the Sam Houston, you're going to be pretty much renting. It's going to cost you anywhere between $1,600 for a one bedroom to $3,000 for a 3 bedroom. So anywhere between that range. And like I said, inner loop housing, if you can find one, because the housing market is booming right now, it's going to be somewhere around $500K to $2 million, depending on what you're looking to purchase and your purchasing power at that point in time. Now, outer loop, when you're talking about the Sam Houston and living outside of the Sam Houston, it's going to be anywhere around $1,200 to about $2,300 for a 2 to 3 bedroom, depending on where you're living at. Outside of it, it can be anywhere like Rosenberg, Katy, Richmond, places like that, Fresno, Pearland. These are places where you're going to be able to find places a little bit cheaper, but they're going to be outside of the Sam Houston Beltway. And if you're looking to purchase a home, you can purchase pretty much what you want to purchase for about $200K to about $800K, depending on what your price range and budget is. It's a whole bunch of new constructions going up, and there's a whole bunch of new communities which I try to thrive in. I like to go to Pearland, I like to go to Mansville, places like that, Fresno, Rosenberg, Richmond. These are all places that are really developing right now. So if you're looking to move into a home, these are places that you might want to look into just because it makes sense. Katy is also growing like Katy. They got Brookshire, which is just west of Katy off the 10. You'll be more than happy to move out there. It's beautiful homes and they're fairly priced depending on how far you live and move out. The next thing you need to know about Houston is the weather. And the weather can be very tricky. If you have watched one of my other videos, I'm gonna put a link up here for the 10 things that you need to know or what I knew before I moved to Houston. So if you see the link, definitely click on it. So with that being said, it's going to be highly humid in the summertime. So pretty much in the summertime, you're going to be dealing with the humidity. If you don't like being humid and hot, like a Florida, sticky, muggy, swamp type of bayou type of vibe, because they call this the Bayou City, you definitely want to probably avoid Houston. But Houston is a great place. It just does get pretty muggy in the summertime, and it can be pretty warm. So you definitely want to watch out for that. Temperature is going to be around 79 to about 88 degrees. And humidity is going to be 90 plus, 90% plus. So it's definitely going to be humid in the summertime. Another thing about the weather in Houston, it can freeze from January to about February. So around this time, at any given time, it can go from warm to cold. So it's a pretty bipolar weather at that point. It can change up on you in a second. And that's something that I don't really care for, but at the end of the day, that's something that Houston has to offer. And another thing about it, it can rain at any given time. So raining is a big thing out here. If you don't like the rain, sometimes it rains more than Seattle. I had a comment on one of my other videos that a lady said she moved from Seattle, and she said it rains more here than it does in Seattle. And it randomly rains. Yesterday it was clear as day. Next thing you know, it started raining out of nowhere. I don't know why it happens, but again, it's just Houston, and this is what Houston has to offer, so we just go along with it. It's a beautiful weather. The average weather is going to be about 73 to about 85 degrees, so you're going to be somewhere in there consistently, but like I said, it can change up at any given time. Next thing that you want to know is going to be the culture. The culture is very, very diverse. You're going to find a lot of different people here from all different walks of life, from different nationalities, from different places in their life. So at the end of the day, you're going to find yourself in this community in which you're not going to be the only person of, I guess, your ethnicity. There's going to be more of people of all different types of life, and they truly do embrace the culture and hospitality down here in Houston. I haven't run into one particular person that was just out of pocket or rude or anything like that. There can be cases of that anywhere that you probably move, but at the end of the day, Houston is a very diverse city, and it's pretty thriving when it comes down to culture and business. Me moving here from Phoenix, Arizona, coming from a culture or a climate where it's predominantly either Caucasian or Hispanic, you want to look at it like this. I'm moving to a city that's just west of the Mississippi, which is the largest African American population west of the Mississippi, and it feels a little bit different than it does in Phoenix. I love Phoenix. I love Phoenix. Phoenix had a lot to offer, but at the end of the day, it's different culture here and it's a different climate, which I can appreciate it because I come from the Midwest where it's a different type of climate up there, and then moving to Phoenix, totally different. A little bit of a culture shock when you get to Phoenix versus coming to Houston and you're actually getting the vibes of the city that actually people are thriving in. Another thing, food trucks are amazing. So there's a big food truck community out here. If you decide to move here, you're going to be able to go out and grab some tacos from a food truck, and if you can do that, please do such from an organic one or one that's originally from that community, because you're going to have the best experience in life. It's going to be some of the best tacos that you ever ate. My son had some the other day after school. I told him to go pick them up, and he was like, man, these are fire. And I can attest for it. It was definitely a good experience going to that taco truck. Another thing is going to be the nightlife. You're going to be able to find anything that you want to do from pretty much 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. for the most part. You're going to be able to go out. There's going to be hookah everywhere you go, so you can go pretty much any lounge, restaurant, or bar. They're going to offer hookah. You're going to offer basically every type of assortment of drinks and food that you can imagine at the bar or lounge or club that you go to. So that's something that you're going to be able to experience pretty much everywhere. The vibe of the city is going to be up. When I mean up, I mean it's going to be turned up all night long. Like I said, you can stay out to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, even 5 to 6. Some clubs stay open that late. So that's something that if you choose to do such, then that's what you choose to do, and it's here available for you. And for the most part, it's just going to give you the vibe of the city that makes the most sense to be in if you decide to, like I said, truly engage and indulge in the city for what it has to offer. And last but not least, you're going to have the community events. You're going to have basically all types of bike rides you can do downtown city. You're going to make sure that you need to, I guess, prepare for whatever weather conditions that might happen, because again, they can rain at any given time. Now you have to also think of, like I said, the other events from the basketball games, the culture when it comes down to sports. It's a big sports community that's lovely out here. Also, HBCUs, universities, black-owned colleges or black colleges all around. Like this is one of the hubs for that. You have TSU, you have PV, you have the University of Houston, which is not a black-owned, historically black college, but it is a university that's here, and this vibes around the city is real. So when you see people that are going to be repping their college, they're going to be repping their community, and it's going to be a big vibe. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of events. You got Battle of the Bands, you got Gremlin, and Southern that's not too far away over there in Louisiana. So they all bring their culture back to the city, and it's a big vibe. So if you like all of that, then you'll love Houston. So again, my name is Ken, the Energy King, and I'm just here to provide a little bit of an insight of Houston, Texas while I'm here. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment below. I would love to see them and read them. If you want me to make a video about a specific topic, please leave that in the comment below, and I'll be more than happy to. Like I said, my name is Ken, the Energy King, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Please go follow me all on my social medias. Thank you. I do appreciate it, and see you on the next video.